Hey guys, Tarke here, and I wanted to do another quick update on the Fire Nova Mine character. I think I've come to the conclusion that this won't be a character that I'll be a league starting with. There are just a few things that I don't like about it. I find it slightly clunky. That'll do. And it's one of those things of, while the build performs perfectly fine, it's just got one or two little gripes that I'm not a fan of. The main one being, and I covered this in my previous video, is the Fire Nova Mine Weave the Arcane interactions. Sometimes the mana just catches. It always procs when you detonate, but sometimes you're in a position where you lay a bunch of mines, so you're killing a tanky rare. You then go forward, and then you have to like detonate in the background to get enough mana to cast forward. It's just, sometimes you will make a mistake and it messes up. Another thing is the life total is pretty low early on. And at level 77, with struggling with 4.2k life, with pretty decent gear across the board. Okay, we are using one Duedries there. This belt isn't amazing, but considering a league starter, this is like pretty decent gear, HP wise. So if you do want to play this build, I would definitely recommend dropping acrobatics early, and if you want to get it, you'd get it like end game as a layer of mitigation much later. Don't get it early on. Drop all these points, get the life cluster here, get life here. I'm just going to ignore that. I don't know what that's about. So yeah, we'll run this map. It's just one of those things of the life. The damage is alright, the life is just kind of whatever, and it's just kind of frustrating. Other than that, the build performs pretty much perfectly fine. We haven't got a +2 helm enchant, we do have a +1 enchant. That's also another thing, is the way the build operates is you can very easily kill stuff like off screen, like you drop, then you piss off, and it like clears stuff behind you. And because of that, there's a very fine line between doing just enough damage that you can kill stuff with one mine, and then having to double tap, which is kind of frustrating. But most of the time, it's a case of one mine is enough to kill everything. And this is the amount of AoE you'll have. This is with a Carcass Jack, so the AoE is like slightly artificially boosted. If you were a Saboteur, you would have roughly this much without a Carcass Jack, so that gives you an idea of what you're kind of playing with. This is on a 5 link with a +3 staff and a level 3 in power. However, the Fire Nova Mine itself is like only level 17 or something, because I am low level and I haven't got a high level one. So yeah, we're missing DPS and true, missing like 4 jewels, which are all like DPS jewels. So the damage for it is fine. Haven't got Uber for this, so it's missing out on a bunch of extra cast speed. And one thing I will say is this is a really nice build for breaches. It's one of those things that just kind of pulses out, and for breaches it's really good. Drop an Orb of Storms just to proc your Ellie Overload, otherwise you can just sort of drop it on rares and stuff. But as you can see, you just sort of blink around, drop a few orbs here and there. Okay, so that was an example just there where I laid a mine and there weren't any mobs. Like, I pre-laid a mine for the breach and I forgot to detonate, and then I nearly face tanked a pack without any mines active. And that's where you kind of trip yourself up by going for this mana sustain. It's very easy to sustain, and if you play perfectly, you'll never have this issue. Also, why is my loot filter off? That is peculiar. There we go. That is much more pleasant. So overall, it's a character that I would recommend, but you need to be paying attention to what you're doing. And with the way that I play the game for very long periods of time, I'll be streaming next league, assuming all this computer nonsense gets sorted out. And yeah, there's going to be very high likelihood of my attention being all over the place and me just making a mistake, and that will get you killed. So that's not ideal for me. Woohoo! Okay, so yeah, that was a case of I got clipped by the Ice Nova, and I have like no life in this tree at the moment. You don't want to have less than 5k life for maps in hardcore, otherwise you're just an idiot, which is currently what's happening here. This is also another slight nuisance of the build. You'll see that I'm just like alternating between tapping, detonate, and laying mines. Normally in a mine build, you just have a detonate mines totem. that you drop, and you just hard cast mines into it while it procs everything if you're a single target. However, detonates caused by your totem won't proc the Weave the Arcane, so you can't do that because you'll just go Laying the mines will never proc the Weave the Arcane. It's only detonating mines which will. I should have pre-laid something then, and also I should have dropped an Orb of Soul on that boss. But yeah, you get like a rough idea of kind of how it clears, and it's just a case of moving fast enough from pack to pack, and that will come down to having good uptime on Vaal skills, having enough cast speed. Obviously, if you're doing one hand and shield, then your clear speed is going to be substantially higher because you'll have this shield charge action, and that is one thing which does feel kind of bad about running plus weapons. So you've got to weigh that up. But you know, otherwise the character is fine. The damage will scale up as you just get more levels, and yeah, it's fine. The only real issue with it is just the way that I picked up acrobatics early, which gimped me on life on the tree. Once you respect those points, you'd be completely and utterly fine, and there's like no issue with the build. So yeah, if you're thinking about it, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 points, which while it's like decent mitigation, it's like 6% dodge per point. It's the thing as I covered earlier, early on you just don't have enough life to justify it. You'd be better off just dropping this, getting this life, maybe coming over here, and then at like high 80s you could then come down and pick up acro if you just want that little bit of extra defense. But that's sort of that. I might keep playing the character a bit. Yeah, the find of mine was just level 18, as you can see. And also your 5 links should be running a controlled destruction. I was just testing out the empower because I had the staff. What I'm most likely going to do now is either do a little bit of mapping on this character, respec the tree, and keep it progressing along, or start working on the next build idea, which is Scorching Ray. And I have some pretty interesting stuff going on with that, but that will be a different video. So maybe expect one more update on this character if I decide to clean up the tree, and then expect some other things. But long and short of it, it works. I'm Tarke. Have a good day. Bye-bye.